Every American needs to watch this video. Please help me out by sharing this message far and wide. The rest of the world is dumping and abandoning the US dollar. Not only are foreign countries dropping our treasury bonds at the fastest pace in nearly a decade, but we see our partners like Saudi Arabia dumping at the fastest pace in 7 years. China dumped in Q4 alone over $100 billion worth of our treasuries. But then over the weekend, what did we just find out? So it all started with the Kenyan president urging his citizens to ditch the dollar. He said, for those of you that are hoarding the US dollar, I would reconsider, and that everything was about to change over the next couple weeks. Well, today it comes out that Saudi Arabia and the United Arab Emirates have both agreed to pay for Kenyan oil in their local currency, the Kenyan shilling. Folks, remember, 50 years ago, we established the petrodollar reserve currency status. We maintained the US dollar as a reserve currency after we removed the peg to gold because we signed deals with Saudi Arabia and we offered protection. And this was a deal that we had with the kingdom going back 50 years now that is completely eroding and falling apart, and they would much rather conduct business outside of the dollar with other countries that aren't weaponizing this system through SWIFT, through sanctions, right? We have weaponized the dollar. Everybody is tired of our BS. And some people are going to show up in the comments and they're going to say that it doesn't matter. This is one little deal with Kenya. What does that matter? No, this is deals with China, with Russia. All of these foreign countries are dumping our treasury bonds at the fastest pace in a decade. They're doing all their trade deals outside of the dollar. They're paying themselves in their local currencies. They're paying themselves in gold. And now, what are they doing? How are they getting these countries and countries to accept these currencies like the Kenyan shilling? Why would they be doing that? Well, I'm going to assume that some of these countries have already gone through the process of resetting, restructuring, and revaluing their currencies, potentially pegging them to real assets, real commodities like gold, oil, and like we're seeing with DLT technology, they are easily going to be able to facilitate cross-border payments, settling up trade for oil and any other commodities very easily with distributed ledger technology. And we're seeing the rest of the world continue to abandon the US dollar while we're still asleep out here in the West. Please share this message far and wide because we need to understand here in America that we are going to get wiped out. This is a financial tsunami that is finally coming back home. We saw in other countries them going through a crisis, having gas shortage, food shortage, wars. It has now come back home. You're seeing it spread throughout the banking crisis. We've been talking about this for a long time. The mainstream media is finally admitting we have a liquidity crisis, but it's because we mostly have a currency and a debt crisis. We have to solve this.